What's going on, world of YouTube? This is A New Breed coming at you with another video. Now, for today's video, we're going to speak about stress. This time, how to alleviate stress. Ultimately, you might have to use some unconventional methods, not necessarily physical, in order to alleviate your stress and the stuff hits the fan situation. The reason being is because A, not drawing attention to yourself or anything that you have, and B, gems and the basic commodities you have at the current time may not be a necessity. So being able to figure out how to cope with stress and not to hit a breaking point ultimately will come in handy. Now, these methods, I'm not a doctor, nor am I a psychologist or any of the above. These just are methods that, through reading and through my own personal experience, I've found that help with stress. Now, on a solitary level, we'll get into that in a whole nother video, solitary prepping and what it does to the mind. But for now, let's go ahead and talk about how to alleviate some of these ways of stress. So maybe in a stuff hits the fan situation, it'll be a little easier to cope. So bear with me and let's go ahead and dive in. Now, up next, we're going to talk about meditation. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be performed sitting in a specific spot or position. Meditation in itself, and there are many different forms, which I'm not going to go into. You have to find which one works for you. But being able to slow all the incoming traffic into your mind down into a trickle, to be able to breathe easy and release some of the stress, the anxiety, and the panic that you have. This is a very important tool to utilize because it can be done anywhere. Not necessarily in any situation, like a combat situation, but this can be utilized in times when you have downtime, even in a stuff hits the fan situation, to be able to relax, calm, cool down, and make a plan. Now, next is positive visualization. Studies have shown that mentally visualizing certain situations and how you would act in them can contribute to a successful outcome in the real world. This is the mental equivalent of rehearsal. For instance, if you have acrophobia or a fear of heights, but you know that you're going to have to go to a high place, during your training, imagine yourself sitting in an open door, flying in a helicopter, but make sure you feel stable, composed, and enthralled to the view beneath you. You can add some realism by mimicking some of the physical motions as if you were acting in reality. But these things help. So it may not be the real thing, but mental preparation is always worth a shot. Next is self-hypnosis. Now, I know what you're thinking. Swinging watch, pendulum, pinwheel, no. This self-hypnosis involves settling into a relaxed but alert state by concentrating on your breathing and softening, relaxing your muscles. Then you have to take yourself through whatever situation that you fear. So if you suffer from a fear of drowning, imagine yourself aboard a speedboat or floating in water, feeling composed and safe, to make sure that you're able to feel safe in that situation and get over your fear. Well, next is mindfulness. This is a form of meditation, but this puts intense focus on your own breathing and personal well-being. Now, during regular life, you deal with stress and you're going to come across stress. With mindfulness, you want to pay close attention on how you feel in these situations, whether you're just imagining them or picturing them in your head, and figuring out how you're going to have the ability to function in a stressful situation and also have the ability to move on from a stressful situation. So keep mindfulness in mind. Next up is sleep. Even though you may not think in a stuff hits the fan situation that you'll be able to sleep, ultimately you have to. You have to be able to sleep. Without it, the body shuts down, the brain doesn't work properly, slowed reaction times. But sleeping and being able to relax, that will ultimately help you cope and be able to alleviate stress in these situations. Now, this one probably should have been mentioned first. Why I put it towards this part of the video was I did want others to focus. But friends, having someone you can trust, a team, people who will support you and who are there for you. Now, this is one of the most important things you can have around you in a stuff hits the fan situation in order to relieve and alleviate stress, is to have someone understand exactly where you're coming from and to help you cope. Now, I actually kept the video short, so you got to give me credit for that. But these are just some of the methods that can be used in a stuff hits the fan situation in order to cope, to be able to deal with stress. And some of them, you have to figure out what really works for you. I can't say one thing will work for everyone or a specific individual or how it goes. Everyone works different, everyone's wired a little different. So if you would like for me to make a video elaborating and talking about the different steps that you can take, the different forms of meditation, go ahead and drop a comment. I'll get to it and I'll start doing videos that help out with how to cope with certain forms of stress. Once again, not a doctor, not a psychologist, but hey, any way to help, especially in a stuff hits the fan situation. So that's all for today. Definitely wish y'all the best. Check out what works for you. Leave a comment in the bottom. Hopefully we can help someone else. Thanks a lot. And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed evening.